it started raining on Friday, and I was like, yeah, our vegetables are going to get enough water because anytime the vegetables get rainwater, it's a happy time because hakuna limitations. But unfortunately, it was a nightmare for the pods and the azolla. So as you can see here, the water is dropping down from the greenhouse paper that we use as the shade for the pods. Well, during the day I tried to trap it like you saw, but unfortunately it kept on raining at night, and now this is what I woke up to on Sunday in the morning. All the pod had been filled up with the rainwater, and the azolla had been taken outside of the pod. Like you can see here, it's flowering outside the pod. So a very little azolla was remaining in the pod, and I was like, where? What just happened? So one of the main thing that you might be wondering, maybe this is like a small problem, you can just solve it by removing this water and boom, that's it. What you don't know is this water is a nightmare because it's diluting the nutrition value in this water. I mean, I have used manure, I have put the right temperatures, like everything is ideal without the rainwater, you guys. So the moment I woke up to this, the water filling to the brim and the azolla outside the pond, I was like, what am I gonna do in this? So I was feeling bad at some point because this is not what you want to wake up to. Finding everything outside of your pod, this is not the thing that you want to wake up to. But now we had to find a solution. So after figuring out things on what to do, I decided to settle on a temporary solution to this problem, which was to draw this water outside the pot through this hole that you can see here. There's a hole that was plugged by a wood that fell. So I used that to draw some of that water out. The problem here is that the water already had diluted the nutrients in the pod, and therefore it meant that I was going to add more water in these sacks, and I mean no not water but manure in these sacks, so that I could replenish the water, that the nutrition value that is available in the pod to keep the azolla thriving. So that is what I will do next. I haven't done that yet. This happened on Sunday and today is on Tuesday. I haven't done that yet, but as you can see, the azolla is still doing fine. It's growing well, at least it's still green as at now, but I need to act as soon as possible so that I can give it the right nutrition. So the problem that I felt so painful of is that I was just drawing this water here through this hole and taking it outside without really using it in the garden, yet it has a lot of nutrients. Given that I had only replaced this manure and added this nutrition just a week ago, that was the most painful thing about this. So when you're digging your pod or when you're erecting your pod, make sure that you figure things out, how the water is going to drop away from the pod if you're going to use an artificial shade like I do. Number two, the depth of your pod should at least allow for the water to accommodate excess water from rainwater, just in case it is going to happen like in my case. And number three, you need to have backup of manure in case you're buying like I do, and also enough water for you to take care of these kind of occurrences. So that is what happens when you have a shallow pod. My pod is just 2 feet deep, and I have not been having any problems with this. The only problem that you saw with the water that is dropping from the top is that I put this greenhouse paper here the other day, and I was doing this to prevent the solar from sunlight getting to this part of the pod, this edge, because it usually turns red from this point and then it spreads over to the rest. So I was trying to prevent that from happening. Little did I know that I was forming a new problem with the rainwater, but si farming ni kazi. But who said it's easy? And I also know, and I can tell that it is not easier in other farming activities, other jobs kila kitu iko na challenges zake, but hizi ni top notch. So I'm currently working a way out to remove and solve this problem permanently, because the solution I gave it this time was temporary. So as you can see here, I removed majority of that water and left about half of the water inside the pod. So I really lost a lot of nutrients with this, and I need to work on a permanent solution. But before I do, I just wanted to let you know that the depth of your pod should really be something you should be considerate of when you're building your pod. When I first had my pod, it wasn't in this location but in another place, but unfortunately I had to relocate it here. But with that place, I never really struggled at all with the rainwater, because we don't have floods, but at least that time the greenhouse paper was taking the water outside the pod, so I could not have any problems with it. So anyway, that was just like a small story of what is happening currently in the farm. Yeah, so see you in the next video. Bye.